Aquarius Rising, Jupiter is in your 7th house of Leo from July 2026 to July 2027. I'm Sook Boy, you're awesome. Let's talk about it. The 7th house basically governs our agreements with the important people in our life. What kind of rapport we have with them, how we show up in relationships. It doesn't have to be romantic. It can be romantic, business, platonic, or otherwise. Hell, sometimes it's people that you're openly competitive with, your open enemies, for example. Another way to reframe this is that your 1st house, Aquarius Rising, is the house of self. I am, me. And the 7th house is the house of the other. So when we put this together, this is called your relating function, how you relate and show up in your relationships. Sometimes we project our expectations onto the other. Aspects of ourselves that we don't actually claim or identify with get pushed onto them. Doesn't mean that they can't see these attributes or temperaments or behaviors, habits within you. You just don't identify with them. Leo by nature is rather performative. It's taking the spotlight, it's attention seeking. And with that comes an aspect of confidence, of enthusiasm and optimism about self-expression. And after all, self-expression is the opposite to depression. So it's something that we can be quite proud of. Now, true to form, you might be attracted to very loud, popular people, sometimes even famous people, people in a band, or people that like to or are comfortable with taking up the spotlight. Leo also represents our ego and our ego strength, and our ability to lead, to take the initiative, to lead by example and motivate and inspire others. Therefore, when it's in the 7th house, sometimes we push or see other people's egos very loud and proud because we don't identify with our own arrogant nature. Jupiter is about meaning. A lot of people say it's about luck, but if something means something to you and you can see a meaningful opportunity, you can actually prepare your identity for that opportunity, and that ultimately leads to luck. Jupiter is also the truth seeker, so it's trying to find the truth, the justice of the matter. And funnily enough, the 7th house is also about contracts and agreements and how they play out in real time. So you could be entering some legal matter this year, and it's important to understand that you can't get your ego involved and using your 1st house of Aquarius to somewhat detach to the emotional attachments you have to that contract and try to view it objectively, not allow your ego to be bruised if you're not validated or recognized for your point of view. By and large, Jupiter expands anything it touches, so you could actually come into contact with a lot of new people and you could find yourself overcommitted with the agreements you make with these people. And Jupiter in Leo, again, it takes the lead and it's a pretty favorable aspect to be real. Jupiter rules a Sagittarius fire sign, Leo's a fire sign. We call that in its triplicity. It's important to not assume success from this transit. I mean, it could mean that you become successful. You could gain recognition and garner respect from other people. But more than anything, it's asking you to learn how to step into your own sovereignty, to step into your own authority and start or embark on your hero's journey. And potentially that includes another person. Maybe you come across a mentor or an advisor or someone that can guide you through a moment in your life so you can additionally find success or see the opportunity to step into and prepare for said success. Now, Jupiter rules 2 signs, your Sagittarius 11th house and your 2nd house of Pisces. What does that mean? First up, it's important to understand now that Jupiter is moving into Leo, it's going to use the Leo script. Therefore, it's going to transfer Leo energetics of confidence, enthusiasm, optimism, leadership, sometimes arrogance and being really stubborn because it's a fixed sign. And it's going to inject those themes into your 2nd house of Pisces. The 2nd house of Pisces is all to do with your material wealth, your access to resources and money and livelihood, how you put a roof over your head and food in your belly, how you find material comfort. So in this time, you could be presented with opportunities to expand your pockets, to expand your relationship with financial independence, for example. But it will ask for compromise and to meet in the middle and to consider the other person's perspective, consider the other person's circumstances and the situation they're in also. Again, this could be really favorable for you, but just be sure that if you do increase your wealth, increase your pockets, you don't allow the lifestyle to creep up and it increases your expenditures. Having a Pisces second house can sometimes mean, at least earlier in life, you're not really that good with money and you don't associate your identity with money. You value other things. Ultimately, this second house is about what you value, what you're attracted to and what you're repulsed by, what you want to bring into your life and what you don't want in your life at all. So Jupiter has something for you to learn about when it comes to your financial freedom and your financial independence and your relationship with money, generally speaking. And potentially you meet someone that can teach you this, or at least lead by example, to influence or motivate or inspire you to become more financially secure or have some more financial literacy in your life. Additionally, that Jupiter rules the Sagittarius 11th house. Now, this is communities. This is your future hopes and dreams. This is you collaborating or performing in front of the public. It's a very visible house. Your friends, your allies, your social network, your relationship with the internet, and all the people and connections you have on the internet, for example. So in this time, you could build your own community, or you could introduce yourself to a new community. And maybe that's very brave for you. Maybe you've been very withdrawn over the last year, and now it's time to actually explore and develop and discover new communities, new ideologies, new beliefs, new mentors, new teachers, new workshops, whatever the case may be. It may mean that you become a lot more active socially. So this could mean or feel like you become very overcommitted or overwhelmed by your social situation, and potentially you realize or learn about yourself that you have been performative with your friends, with your allies, with your acquaintances, with your social network, and maybe you want to step into some more sovereignty and authenticity. And you can still be respected and not be performative, and maybe that's something that Jupiter will teach you, especially through the feedback you get from your more important one-to-one relationships. Because the second house is also involved, it may actually include you investing time, energy, money, resources, emotional energy as well into your community, giving back to community in some way. Now, in the first month of July, Jupiter is going to be really activated by loads of aspects, and I'm going to cover them hopefully one by one as we go. In the meantime, consider this an overview for the next year. Hope that helps. Okay, bye.